I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Well, folks, it's finally here. After 12 years in development, Ryan Reynolds is finally bringing the wisecracking, fourth-wall-breaking, and gunslinging superhero Deadpool to the big screen in all his rated R glory. As you may know, it's a bit of a passion project for Ryan Reynolds, who has managed to survive numerous box office failures and a god-awful cameo in X-Men Origins to get this movie made. In fact, it reminds me of another comedic actor who also tried introducing a new superhero to the big screen. That actor is Robert Townsend, and that superhero was the Meteor Man. In 1993, Robert Townsend was still riding off the success of his hit indie comedy Hollywood Shuffle. And seeing as that movie was seen as a huge step for black actors and directors, Townsend was now Hollywood's next big thing. But with the Meteor Man, Townsend was making a big leap in giving us cinema's first major black superhero, and was so confident in his film success that he even got Marvel Comics to publish 6 issues of a Meteor Man comic book. Sadly, the Meteor Man was soon defeated by those dastardly villains known as the Cinematic Critic and the Money Machine. In other words, it bombed, and Townsend would soon be relegated to doing TV movies. But now that we're living in a time when we've got black superheroes like Black Panther and Cyborg coming to movie screens, maybe this flick just happened to be ahead of its time. After all, it's got a cast full of legendary black entertainers: Eddie Griffin, Marla Gibbs, James Earl Jones, Sinbad. Oh, and it also has a small appearance by this guy named Bill Cosby. I don't know. You may have heard of him. Yeah, can't think of any jokes to make at his expense. So this flick opens like any standard superhero movie, in introducing our soon-to-be superpowered hero, Jefferson Reid, played by Robert Townsend, who scrapes by as a substitute teacher living with his mom and dad in an inner-city neighborhood, alongside such wacky neighbors as James Earl Jones. And in case you were wondering, yes, he does wear this goofy wig through 75% of this movie, and yes, it is hilarious.
You down with OBP? You know me.
Jefferson is dismayed to see his students and neighbors being constantly terrorized by the gang controlling his neighborhood, known as the Golden Lords. And you know this gang means business. They've got Don Cheadle and Tommy Tiny Lister in their crew, they have the same hairstyle as Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man, and they have a fucking pet tiger. Did the Warriors have a pet tiger? They did not. Fucking pussies. Jefferson comes across the gang one night in a dark alleyway and successfully escapes, but soon finds himself facing down a radioactive meteor flying at him from space. And now comes the triumphant part of the film where our hero finds himself gaining superpowers and vowing to use these— Holy fucking Christ! Well, this scene is soul-piercingly terrifying. Did they have David Cronenberg come in as a fucking guest director? Well, after that pleasant scene of body horror, Jefferson is admitted into the hospital, but finds his burns have healed overnight, and that the meteor has given him superpowers. He can see through walls, he can talk to his dog, and he can absorb all the information from any book he touches. Oh, and the other half of that meteor was found by a mute bum played by Bill Cosby. Oh good, the man who has most likely raped several women can now see through their clothes. Nothing wrong with that.
The only thing I slipped in was my Johnson.
As for Jefferson, though, he reluctantly decides to follow the advice of his neighbors and use these powers to clean their streets of crime as the Meteor Man. Now this is all great and good, because the best thing about this movie is its utter heart. I love the idea of a reluctant superhero uses his powers to clean up his neighborhood and enlighten people to the crime and drug use that were polluting black neighborhoods around this time. I applaud Townsend wholeheartedly for that. But goddammit if the rest of the movie fails big time in living up to that potential. One moment, it's shooting to be an old school, old-fashioned superhero movie, right down to having the original Riddler, Frank Gorshin, as the gang's overlord. But then the next moment, it's a somber drama about inner-city violence in the vein of Spike Lee or John Singleton. Now certainly you can have a great superhero flick with some social commentary in it, but you cannot have a scene like this.
I saw everything.
This is never gonna happen again.
And a scene like this exist in the same film. You just can't. Also, you shouldn't have a PG family-oriented movie that contains scenes of drive-by shootings, half-naked people getting high on crack.
What happened here, man?
And a fucking dog getting murdered. And with all these jarring shifts in tone and an infinite amount of new plot lines that never form into a coherent story, it's just a mess. But it still has enough in it for me to recommend a casual viewing. Like I said, it's refreshing to see a superhero movie with a mostly black cast that deals with all these urgent issues. And the music is a fun time capsule of the rap and new jack swing that were dominating the charts at this time. You've got songs from Michael Jackson and MC Hammer, as well as cameos from Big Daddy Kane, Naughty by Nature, Cypress Hill, Luther Vandross, Biz Markie, and Wallace Shawn. He counts, right? You remember that hip-hop album he did back in the 90s? So as incoherent and messy as this movie is, it certainly has enough merits to make it worth a second look. You know, it's been a while since I've seen Robert Townsend. I wonder what he's worked on lately. Oh yeah, he directed that Bill Cosby Netflix special that is never gonna get released now, what with Bill Cosby being a serial rapist and all. Well, I guess you can add Robert Townsend's career to the endless list of things Bill Cosby has fucked!
Loves me some white pussy. Aww.
By drinking this goblet of beer, you shall have the superpower of inebriation. So stop saving the day and start saving some booze for the awfully good drinking game. Take a shot or drink every time the Meteor Man absorbs some knowledge from touching a book. Oh, let's see what book he's using to defeat this bad guy. Uh-oh. You see the gang's pet tiger, which is badass, or their boss breaking out his slinky, which is significantly less badass. I mean, what the hell is so fucking intimidating about a goddamn slinky?
Everyone loves a slinky!
You gotta get a slinky.
The Meteor Man discovers a new superpower thanks to the classic screenwriting technique of pulling stuff out of your ass. Hey, Bill Cosby knows a thing or two about pulling stuff out of his you know what? I'm just gonna stop that joke there. James Earl Jones breaks out a new wig and take a double shot when he also starts to rap.
You need to know you can't sow what you know. Something keep changing the path where the death goes.
Well, there you go, folks. Now you will never be able to look at Darth Vader the same way again.
You need to know you can't sow what you know. Something keep changing the path where the death goes.
That's impossible.
Are you done with OBP?
And on the nudie watch, the Meteor Man may be able to see what people are wearing underneath their clothes, but because of that PG rating, he's unable to see anyone completely nude in this flick. And that's probably for the best, unless any of you want to see what Aunt Esther from Sanford & Son looks like naked. If you do, please email me at thingsnohumanbeing@fakewebsite.com. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Boulder Bruce, the Meteor Man is unable to defend itself from the evils of mediocrity, but manages to save from a burning building a rating of 6 out of 10. In other words, not as good as Blank Man, but way fucking better than Steel. I'm Jesse Shea for JoBlo.com, and I think it's funny that at the end of this movie, Bill Cosby wakes a dead dog back to life, seeing as most of the time, he's putting things to sleep! Ha ha! Nailed it!